Item 5, public question time.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Members will be aware that the public questions before us this evening fall broadly into two subject categories. Members may also be aware that under the Constitution, the Mayor has the right to group questions of a similar nature together. So the Mayor's intention is to have questions 5.1, 5.4 and 5.10 asked first, and for Councillor Bianco then to give an answer to those questions, and then questions 5.2, 3, 5, 7, 8 and 9 asked, and Councillor O'Brien to give an answer, and finally question 5.6 to the leader. A number of the questioners have asked for you to read out the questions for them, Madam Mayor, starting with 5.1 question from Jonathan Haynes.
Given that Blue Horizon have been appointed as consultants to find a new operator to run the Beck Theatre, what assurance can London Borough of Hillingdon give that they will act fast and with urgency to secure a new operator, assuming one is found, and ensure the Beck's long-term future? We are at a critical phase and have warned that if the venue closes in January, it will be very difficult for it to reopen. We need to ensure a deal is agreed in order for a seamless decoupling with Trafalgar and keep the doors open.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And now question 5.4 from Harpel Tamba, who I believe has also asked for you to read out the question.
Can the Council categorically confirm or deny that they are in possession of drawings showing a new residential development scheme on the Beck Theatre site?
And finally, 5.10 question from Eilish Stone, who I believe is present. Just have a microphone coming towards you now.
My relationship with the Beck goes back over 30 years when my sons performed with the Youth Theatre and in the summer projects. This gave them skills for life, transferable to many different careers, including performing arts. Our council's tardy response to securing the future of the theatre has caused much upset and uncertainty to the employees, the service users and community groups. As a member of the community choir, I despair of our elected council and cabinet members who claim to put residents first. It seems you only woke up from your slumber when our media campaign to save the Beck took off. Before that, it was silence.
Councillor Bianco.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and thank you to Mr. Haynes in his absence, Ms. Stone, who is present, and I'd also like to thank Councillor Davis, whose question at 9.5 and members' questions I intend to answer in one go. I will answer Mr. Tamba's question at the end of this answer, because it's a slightly different variation on the whole. Madam Mayor, Hillingdon Council were both surprised and disappointed by Trafalgar's decision to discontinue negotiations regarding the future operation of the Beck Theatre on a without subsidy basis. Subsequent attempts by the Council to find a workable solution with Trafalgar have proved unsuccessful due to demands that the Council could not agree to. Following Trafalgar's decision, the Council has acted swiftly to appoint Blue Horizon, who are leading theatre consultants, to find a new operator for the Beck Theatre. Blue Horizon set to work immediately and have undertaken extensive work to reach out to interested parties. And this work included the preparation of a comprehensive data room and subsequently a viewing day at which I was present and which was attended by 6 or 7 separate commercial theatre groups interested in taking on the Beck. A full inspection was undertaken on that day for the interested parties, and any questions asked were answered by both Blue Horizon, senior officers of the Council who were present, or myself. Expressions of interest were sought from interested parties by Monday last, and I understand that 4 expressions of interest have been received, and these are currently being evaluated. The desire of this Council is to find a partner who shares our commitment to secure the long-term future for the venue and to ensure a continued and hopefully improved cultural experience that can be enjoyed in the borough. To address further comments made by Ms. Stone in her very similar question, I would add the following. There has been a notion of delays suggested by social media comment, which is wholly inaccurate and designed to imply inefficiency where none exists. These comments do not accurately reflect the time, work and commitment made by officers and elected members to try and reach agreement on a new management arrangement which the current providers and the Council could agree on. As stated earlier, the Council was surprised by Trafalgar's decision to discontinue negotiations with Hillingdon Council, and subsequent attempts by the Council to find a workable solution with Trafalgar proved unsuccessful due to demands that the Council could not agree to. The Council has made it clear on many occasions over the last few months that it cannot agree to extend any monetary subsidy beyond this financial year, particularly bearing in mind Trafalgar's financial standing and their commercial status within the theatre market. The Council has acted swiftly once it was clear that Trafalgar were unwilling to negotiate further, appointing Blue Horizon, who are specialists in this field, to find a new operator for the Beck. Moving on to the comments made by, the question raised by Mr. Tamber, which I will read just to be clear where the difference is. Mr. Tamber's inquiry was that the Council categorically confirm or deny that they are in possession of drawings showing a new residential development scheme on the Beck Theatre site. To answer this question, I can inform those present here tonight that a feasibility study, which included some outline high-level option plans and drawings, was prepared in early 2023 as part of a wider piece of work looking at the whole surrounding area. However, I can confirm also that the study pointed out that the site was unsuitable for residential from a planning perspective, as it is regarded as open space, and that if residential was to be allowed, it would have only been on a very small scale, making the whole idea completely unviable. I would quote from the report a planning comment. I have the report here, and the planning comment is here. Theatre location deemed not suitable for residential development, as this will create a landmark building and within public open space, creating issues in relation to overlooking and increased traffic. Lastly, it is important to note that this work predates by some considerable time the recent discussions with Trafalgar. The Council has no intentions at this time of residential development on this site. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Beginco.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We move to the second set of questions, starting with 5.2, question from Emily Hopler.